The Israeli Defense Minister signed a military order classifying 5 Palestinian online media platforms as terrorist organizations, alleging links to Hamas. The order says the outlets are used to incite unrest, particularly in Jerusalem. Al-Asima, Miraj, Al-Khatib, Quds Plus and al-Midan have focused on reporting from Jerusalem for years. Well, joining us from Ramallah is Shireen Al-Khatib. She's the acting director of the Palestinian Center for Development and Media Freedoms. It's called MADA. And she's speaking to us through a translator. Ma'am, thank you very much indeed for being with us. What are the risks that the staff are facing now from these websites?
At the very beginning, thank you very much for having me. As a result of this decision yesterday to ban some of the media outlets and organizations in Jerusalem, this means that so many risks and consequences will follow regarding the journalists and those who work in these outlets. One of the most important thing that they will be treated badly, they will be followed up, they will be summoned for investigation, and other things that will put them in front of so many risks. They might lose their jobs after this decision, and there are some restrictions, numerical restrictions. Some bank accounts will be closed, some other things will be dismissed, and also there is risk when it comes to the professional safety, and there are also all forms and types of pressures on them.
You were mentioning before that all these websites have been reporting from Jerusalem particularly for years. Do you think that some of the journalists will try to carry on their work perhaps in other ways?
For sure, this type of treatment and those restrictions put on the journalists and the other people who work in these outlets, for sure some of them will decide to distance themselves from this profession and to work in a less risk professions, because they cannot tolerate the legal consequences and the consequences that might affect directly their lives.
How worried are you that this is not going to be restricted to these websites, that other websites and other media organizations are going to be hit as well?
Yes, we are very worried and relatively super worried, because these decisions will create consequences on so many levels. For example, some other organizations might be very cautious, and some other organizations might reduce their productivity, particularly when it comes to the very sensitive matters that might lead them to investigation. Also, the decision will open the way for similar procedures in the future with other websites, with other outlets, and these journalists and these outlets might be investigated, might be summoned for some investigation, and this will restrict the mood and the atmosphere of free journalism. It will also lead those journalists and media workers to work individually or to work within non-official journalistic networks or media networks, or they can publish through other outlets that are online to reduce the risk of being investigated and followed up. Yes, we are very worried. We are super worried because of this decision and its effects on the freedom of journalists.
Shireen Al-Khatib, we are grateful to you for being with us on Al Jazeera. Thank you very much.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.